Galactic Spin Podcast and expand your view.
In Lakesh, and greetings to everybody out there tuning in with us in this now moment. Welcome to the Galactic Spin Podcast. My name is Mikuak Rai, Kin 126, and it's an honor to be here with you again this evening at this now time for our 41st episode. I'm joined by my dear brother Rubén Llinás, Kin 113, tapping in from Mexico. ¿Qué pasó, hermano?
En Lakesh, todo bien acá en México. We are very happy to be today again for this new episode of the Galactic Spin. Today is the eve of my galactic return, another galactic spin for myself. So it's always amazing to go through all these episodes and the journey that we are traveling with everyone online. So we give thanks to everyone tuning in to this episode 41. And of course, we give thanks to Alejandra and Giselle for the support that they have been giving us in keeping up to this journey. Because sometimes it's challenging to keep up with the content, with the pre-production, but we are here again, always ready and happy to share more synchronicities and more happenstances that are leading our way to the golden intersection of timelines.
Indeed, it is a journey. It is and continues to be a journey, and we do give thanks for all the peaks and valleys of the journey. And shout out, I see in the live chat, the synchronometer is beautiful. Big ups to you and Alejandra for bringing that one through for this solar ring. It is absolutely magnificent, and we really appreciate people's support out there. Indeed, gathering their copy of it, letting others know about it, knowing to tune in to it. I'm going to pop in the chat, in fact, a link taking folks directly to the website where they can go gather a copy of it. We truly appreciate the support in this service effort, this planetary service effort. So for the new Sirius 1.38 cycle, we have the synchronometer link in the chat just to make sure folks can get access to that in real time. Because as you know, the fact of the matter is we're wrapping up this Blue Storm year. This is our second to last heptad in this year that has been quite the perfect storm, as I've been led to describe it at this point, because it does seem like the perfect storm. It's certainly closing out with an emphasis, it seems. And I'm certainly experiencing it in my own personal experience, as I'm sure others are having their own experiences also of this transformative wave of energy. And, in that wave, I certainly am feeling and finding that things at the bottom are getting turned up to the top. That they can get properly resolved, ideally,
Yes.
And it's not necessarily beautiful stuff. Have you seen those videos of like the under ocean creatures at the bottom of the ocean that have like never ever before come up for light?
Yeah, around
Some of those are some of those
Japan.
Japan, I don't know where they're at, but they are deep, deep, deep in the ocean, somewhere
Yes.
around the planet. And, those creatures are certainly a sight to behold.
Yeah.
And, I'm saying the metaphor for myself when, my own variation of those beautiful creatures, are coming out to be embraced, perhaps.
Yes.
And
They're looking for light.
they're looking for light. They're looking for love. They're looking to be healed, as Ishel Esta says in the chat, so eloquently. So, it's a powerful time. And I think, if I'm feeling anything right now, and forgiven, indeed, if I'm feeling anything right now, it's to pace ourselves for the final stretch.
Yes.
Because in this fractal time compression experience, it makes perfect sense that the most intense stuff is going to come up in the closing aspects of this ceremony. I mean, as we are enduring, through this process, which is definitively a process. I mean, I'm saying for myself, experiencing it every day. I also want to give a special shout out to my son, Sirius Bodhi, who is between 19 and 20 months of age. And just, to acknowledge his divinity and give great thanks for his presence in my life as, a teacher and a way shower that he is, as he is showing me a direct reflection of my own behavior, which, the mirroring exercise in life. A mini me. It's true.
And
so
actually, we are precisely, this is our last episode before entering the heart of the 1320 matrix, the mirror wave spell. We'll be in that wave spell on next episode. And this is certainly a moment to reflect and to see ourselves in the mirror and to see everyone else around us as a mirror of who we are, the in Lakesh Alakim. Sometimes it doesn't give the nicest reflection of us, but this is certainly because it's the, like we have been saying this entire year, the theme is the human wave spell. So it's like ending that cycle of 13 months of the human with this reflection of the mirror is certainly a great metaphor to contemplate.
On a galactic human, no less.
Yes.
So the human year and this human kin today, I mean, it's remarkable. And so all of my humanness is showing up for this episode, evidently. So
yes, and
one way
that's the beauty of the work, is that it is an invitation for us every 7 days to really go in to whatever is happening on the outside and on the inside, and no matter how chaotic everything looks like, just keep up with the work and be gentle with ourselves and be compassionate with others, because everyone is doing their best from their level of consciousness. So sometimes it's we forget about it. But I feel and I think that our last episode was a really deep dive into that, and we certainly had a lot to reflect from that episode on our personal lives, and to apply everything that we say here to apply in our own lives is challenging, but is a reminder for us to come every 7 days here and walk the talk.
To commit to reapplying ourselves every opportunity we can. It really does feel like a very, very close experience, one moment to the next, really taking our time, as I said, pacing ourselves and being gentle, as you mentioned. I think that's key, because as we are wrapping up this perfect storm year, we really don't know what is around the corner, around any corner. And so I know with the things we're guiding in the mundane in our respective locations, like being in Los Angeles, there are particular things that we're navigating and witnessing, not only for ourselves, but for our friends and family who are having to navigate things in very particular ways right now. It's a very intense time wherever we are on the planet. So it's all the more reason to walk gently and with as clear intention as we can, of course, and also taking liberty to recommit again as we need to, And so, with that said, let's go ahead and check the Earth's pulse at this now moment. All right. And we give thanks again to everybody showing up in the live chat. We give great thanks for you. Yes, indeed.
Yes, indeed. And speaking about the spin, we have two important news related to the spin. First, the spin of the Earth, and the next one, the spin of the black holes, like from the micro to the macro. And this news that kind of became viral last week about Earth's rotation speeding up on July 9th, which happened to be the 13th day of this 13th moon, King 107, and the blue electric hand at the entrance of these 10-day galactic activation portals that we are entering since King 106, that we are closing on King 115, the spectral eagle. This article from Newsweek is covering up what this is all about, and of course, in a world and a paradigm that is based on the splitting the microseconds and thinking that is time, this has created a lot of buzz, because as I'm going to read a little bit about what the article says, because I found a couple of things that are really interesting. And it says, on July 9th, 2025, scientists at the International Earth Rotation and Reference System Service reported that the Earth completed its rotation approximately 1.3 to 1.6 milliseconds faster than the standard 24-hour period. Moreover, this is expected to happen again on July 22nd and August 5th of this year. So a little bit of a pause there. These 1.3 and 1.6 milliseconds are kind of key fractal frequencies here, because 1.3 is a fractal of 13, and we were saying that this took place on the 13th day of this 13th moon, that the day got 1.3 milliseconds shorter, or 1.6 that happens to be the golden ratio approximation. So that's one thing. And the other fact that is interesting is that July 22nd is supposed to be the next time that this phenomena happens, and that's Noosphere Day. For those who are new to the subject, there is an Earth Day and there is a Noosphere Day every July 22nd, and July 22nd happens to be also 22/7 on the Gregorian calendar, and that's if we divide 22 by 7, we get pi, another mathematical constant. So everything seems to be related, and of course, one of the things at the end of the article that also got our attention is about what are the implications. And it says, it may sound like cosmic trivia, but the consequences of Earth's rotational changes are real. If this faster rotation continues, a negative leap second may be required to keep our clocks in sync with the sun. This would mean a second is skipped, there would be a minute with only 59 seconds, the scientist explains. So instead of adding 1 second every 4 years or something like that, because now they have to subtract 1 second. And this is, of course, being part of the 1260 mathematical ratio. The fact that that 60 goes to 59 and it goes below the 60, it's an interesting thing to observe. And of course, the synchronicity is connected also that this is in relationship to the clocks in sync with the sun, which totally put me into contemplation mode, because I thought that this was not connected to the sun in any way, but that the rotation of the Earth was simply independent of that rotation around the sun, that the spin of the Earth has no effect on by this the forces of the sun, but some of the causes, because the scientist doesn't know what are the real reason. It could be either changes in the atmosphere, climate change, or the effect of gravitational fields, which brings us to the next slide, in which also scientists found gravitational waves reveal most massive black hole merger ever detected, one forbidden by the current scientific standards. And this one also, of course, is interesting. There is a lot of technical stuff here, but the fact that this is something that is defying the laws of physics, and according to scientists, black holes, which we have one at the center of our galaxy, rotate close to the speed of light, or at least through the standard model of physics. That's what scientists think. But this merger of these two black holes that were spinning at an incredible, well, imagine the speed of light, a spin at the speed of light, collapsing or merging into one another, creating like a larger body that is, according to the study, is the largest registered ever. And it says here, another record broken. The Laser Interferometer Gravitational Wave Observatory is no stranger to making history and breaking records. In 2015, its twin detectors based in Livingston, Louisiana and Hanford, Washington, made the first ever detection of gravitational waves. This detection came exactly a century after Einstein had first predicted the existence of gravitational waves in his 1915 theory of gravity and general relativity. The signal, which would become known as was the result of a merger of black holes that created a daughter black hole with mass around 62 times that of the sun. That was a long time ago. This one is 220 times the size of the sun. So it's breaking 225 times the mass of our sun. So there is something happening for sure. As we approach the golden intersection, we have been saying that this could be also like an attractor or a vortex that is really bringing us to that merging or convergence of timelines. So certainly having this news coming out as we are approaching also like a point, ground zero of this year, and the center, the heart of the Solkin matrix, the galactic harmonic module, it's certainly something very, very interesting to watch.
It is definitely revelatory. I mean, we're witnessing these unprecedented celestial revelations before our very eyes. It's phenomenal, yes, just to bear witness to it. And like you said, in the run-up, no less, to the golden intersection of timelines. I mean, these things are happening in real time and successive order. It's impeccable. Yes. Even in keeping with today's theme, there's an impeccability about what's being revealed to us, and it's just really, really something.
Yeah, and it goes hand in hand with this emergence of the creatures from the deep parts of this ocean, and everything that it was hidden is coming out to be revealed.
Yeah, and healed. Revealed and healed and released and returned to the source from whence they came. That's what is apparently happening. So I'm loving the chat as well. Lots of good activity in the live chat happening. You're getting some birthday salutations. Well, for your soul, your galactic return, of course. Happy cumple kin to you.
Yes. Happy Galactic Spin.
Yes, Galactic Spin. Happy Galactic Spin for sure. And yeah, I mean, just so many things to say. I mean, relative to what we're witnessing with the sun. I mean, even the sun, before we went live today, Ishel was explaining to me the latest black space facing the planet at this point from our sun. Yeah. And it's literally facing us. And we know the last time this happened, we ended up getting X-class flares. If we recall, just a few weeks ago, this happened, right? Where we had another dark patch transiting the face of the sun. And those, I don't think, maybe they were I guess, for a moment directly facing the Earth. But in any case, I don't know that the solar maximum is anywhere near finished yet. I mean, it's hard to say. But
actually, I was reading today while scanning the news and space weather. Today is the 25th anniversary of a phenomena called the Bastille Day, which is a major solar storm that was felt by the space probe Voyager, and that really collapsed a lot of communications here, and the article was ending with we are still at the cusp of solar cycle 25, so anything like this can happen. And of course, that this event took place 25 years ago. It was a solar hand day, also solar with the solar tone. So it's something to keep observing, and it was called Bastille Day because of the event synchronized with the independence of France. And
interesting. I wonder how many years to the day that might have been. Very interesting to look into that. Bastille Day, I like that. Wow. Yeah, well, we're definitely witnessing something unprecedented.
Yes.
both here on Earth and I would say in the greater solar sphere, the celestial sphere. When you mention the 25, obviously we're in a 2025 year of the Gregorian code.
Mhm.
And then we also recognize that in the spring, it will be the 25th
Mhm.
meeting of the Forum on Indigenous Issues.
Mm.
So that's a significance as well, as we are
Yeah.
making that conscious for various reasons.
Yeah.
So,
Well, it's a quarter. It's a quarter of a century that
quarter
we
of
are
a
still
century.
from entering the
Exactly.
millennium. So.
Exactly. And I'd also like to point out that according to some cosmologies, we are and have been moving into a solar age coming out of a lunar age, or a solar
Mm.
cycle coming out of a lunar cycle. And that relates to the elliptical orbit of our planet in relationship to the sun. So we're
Mm.
actually in its ellipse of that orbit. It's closer to the sun now than it has been for 5,000 years. So
Wow.
that's also
Yeah.
something interesting to consider in terms of proximity to the physical sun, that we're actually
Yeah.
closer to the sun than we have been for thousands of years. And so it should be no wonder that all of these things are revealing.
Yes. Yes. And of course, without mentioning everything that is happening on the drama of the political figures and the geopolitical drama that is taking place on Earth, because this is actually the way spell of the serpent that we are navigating, and the president of the United States went through his galactic return on King 107. So this is certainly shaking things up in the United States, and who knows what is going to happen. It's just observing. We are just observing everything with compassion, and at the same time with awareness, no? Because there is a lot going on that is coming to the surface, and many people are saying that the shift is indeed hitting the fan.
The shift is hitting the fan.
Yes.
That is a real statement. And in light of that, let's go ahead and sink in and tune up so we can navigate this shift with as much clarity and coherency as possible.
Yes.
All right. Shout out to Ishel for those great segues, by the way. I always love pulling those up just to have that moment of attunement.
The pause.
The pause. In this ongoing marathon, as we arrive to the golden intersection of timelines, and as we mentioned earlier, we're wrapping up this phenomenal Blue Rhythmic Storm Year, fractally coded by that yellow human. This entire year, fractally coded by the yellow human, Ken 92 to be exact. So as we navigate this phenomenal year 19, because its code is Ken 19, we find ourselves at a phenomenal inflection point. Really, we're about to step into the yellow resonant seed year. Okay. And we're wrapping up, completing in phenomenal ways this most perfect storm year. And I would say it's a perfect storm. When people say that phrase, it's a perfect storm, it's like those combination of events that lead to a particular outcome. And so this combination of events, from all the friction and all the drama, as you indicated, as well as all these other powerful realizations and revelations, it's all happening at once. Though it
Yes.
feels like it's shooting us out of the womb into something brand new, entirely new. So, okay, I'm corrected. Rubén actually made those. Oh, you added amazing music. Having a conversation with the live chat over here. But Ruben, you did make those segues. Great job, by the way, on the graphics. And he
No,
brought them to
it's,
life
it's,
through the
it's a
music.
teamwork. Yes.
Of course, it is. Everything in this case is cooperative, and all of us are on the planet for those purposes as well. So I just want to say this has been a phenomenal experience in an exercise in how we organize and bring balance, right? Through self-generation and the catalyzation of energy.
Yeah.
So how we're navigating this, how we're catalyzing this energy, it's been really amazing, all the things that have come with this current year's wave. And every year could be looked at as a wave. Similar to looking at the graphic on the screen, we see that arc created by the spiral. It's like a wave. That's the wave right there. That's the wave motion. So we're literally in this wave, and this wave is coming to completion, and a new wave is beginning. So the word and the wave and the world we're becoming, that is really the theme of tonight. And I want to emphasize that now, because part of this wave of energy for us has been anchoring and holding space to present this shift into the new time. So as we sink in and tune up every 7 days, this is something we, daily attend to in various ways. And we want to encourage others as well to catch this wave. If you're not already tracking a 13 moon almanac or synchronometer or calendar of any kind, there's a variety of them out there. And we encourage you to track any one of them just to attune yourself with this wave. Okay.
Yeah.
Because as we see what's happening in the 3D, it's getting reordered. And then we realize there are other orders in nature as well. And so this happens to be one of them, regarding the law of time, for example. So as we make this conscious as a cresting and increasing wave of consciousness around the planet, we know that the shift to the new time is assured. It's already happened. The shift already happened. The calendar change already happened. It's just now people are catching up to the wave of what already happened. That wave happened before 2012.
Yeah.
2012 was a point we were meeting in a certain process of consciousness coming to remember itself. And at that point, that wave was completed and a new wave was initiated. And now we're nearing the completion of this wave. Like, for example, when we arrive to those 13 tunes completed, that's a specific measure of a wave of consciousness.
Yes.
That we're actually conscious of. Yeah.
And also worth mentioning that we are inside this wave of 13 years since the start of in the same way that we have the 13 moons, we have 13 years that started in the year 2019 with the white magnetic wizard year. And of course, this white magnetic wizard year is the tone 1 of the same wave field that the Blue Rhythmic Storm is located. So that means that this 13-year cycle that we started in 2019 and that will go through the year 2032, we are entering the heart of that cycle of 13 years and the resonant tone, which would be the midpoint of that 13-year journey that goes from the 1 wizard year to the 13 wizard year. And inside that cycle of 13 years, this Blue Rhythmic Storm is also the second storm year. We had the Blue Lunar Storm in the year 2020. And now we are in the Blue Rhythmic Storm. And that means that in 3 years, we will be on the Blue Planetary Storm. So certainly something to watch, because we know, and we have mentioned already on prior episodes, what happened in the year 2020 in that Blue Lunar Storm. The lunar is the tone of challenge, and that the entire planet was on going through its probably the most challenging time in recent years, with the virus that has the same code number as this year, COVID-19. So we certainly keep watch on everything, because it's part of a whole, and allowing to, like, these tools are designed for us to see the entire picture, and not focus on just one little year, or pick up years without any reference point. We have like a really good map to track.
Most definitely. And so as we are tracking the map, we see the planetary service wave spell depicted on the screen, and we're completing the cosmic moon, and one more heptad will be complete. And this again has been, and this moon, in fact, as we can see here, is the tone of presence, the cosmic tone of presence, and the moon of presence.
Yes. And our last episode would be on the Blue Lunar Storm Year, Blue Lunar Storm, which is the kin that we were speaking about.
Exactly. Kin 119, correct?
Yes, because this is because every 5 years, the two counts, the solar lunar count of 13 months and the 260-day count, the galactic count, they synchronize. We have every 5 years, we have a total of 65 months, 5 times 13, 65, and those 65 months are the same scope as 7 Solkins, or 7 cycles of 260 days. The only difference is the 5 days out of time contained within that 5-year gap, and those 5 days are the difference between the year bearer of the coming year is kin 124. The blue lunar storm was kin 119. So there are 5 kin in between those 100 kin 119 and kin 124, and that means that those 5 days are the 5 days out of time that keep the two counts synchronized.
5 years, 5 kin, right? Difference?
Yes.
Exactly. 55.
Yeah.
Kin
Every
E
5
55.
years. Yes.
Love that.
And next year would be a continuation of that wave spell of the mirror that gave birth to the lunar storm year in July 26, 2020.
Wow. Indeed. These codes are certainly interconnected and interrelated. Yes. Big time. So we can see here as well where we find ourselves in the green outline in the very center of the third heptad, Kali Day, Kali Plasma, Kali Kin, we can call it. And that's today, day 18 of this 13th moon.
Yes.
And the red, explain the red there as well, what's shaded in the red.
Yeah, what we are doing is we are mapping the wave spell, the 13-day cycle within the 7-day cycle. So basically, this entire wave spell of the serpent that goes from day 11 of this cosmic moon, and it closes on day 21. No, on day 23. We've missed the highlight of the red there.
Okay.
Probably it was one layer down. But this is a way for us to really track the 13-day cycle and the 7-day cycle, because those are the key numbers. Yeah, we need to add the for next episode the 2 days, day 22 and day 23. They are still part of this wave spell.
Okay, you can imagine that for those looking at the graphic then on the fourth heptad, the first 2 days there would also be shaded red. We'll
Yes.
correct that for the next episode. And similarly, we can see here an example of the outline of that wave spell, as you mentioned, the red serpent.
Yes, it goes from King 105 to King 117, the red cosmic earth, and it has these 10 days in green that are called galactic activation portals. They are days of more heightened energy, and we are feeling it, of course. And this is called the Omega run. So we have the Alpha run. We have the Omega run that starts on King 146. It's kind of the mirror half of the Solkin, and we are entering on King 118 that central column that is called the mystic column, is the central axis of the Solkin matrix.
Indeed, indeed. And as we navigate, here we are in the wave spell itself, the red serpent, with these gap days. I mean, I don't want to glaze over the gap days because clearly they are an amplification of whatever it is that is happening in that window. And I know, according to some of the natural time instructors, we mentioned this last episode with our brother Wanik, he teaches about the past portals during this particular sequence of days and the effect of making peace with your parents. So I know that, even as I'm speaking, it's interesting because it's allowing me to reflect on everything that's happening and then how that does connect, So, yeah, these days, exactly. They have been active and activating. That is for sure. Galactic activation portals. Gap days.
Yes. And what we see in green here is the 13 moons in 13 days. We are navigating a little teaser of what the next year is going to be. So we are going to have, as we can see on the next slide, we will have moon 1 will be the red magnetic serpent, moon 2 the white lunar world bridger. So the 8th day of this wave spell is a fractal of the 8th moon of the coming year. This is a fractal of 1 kin equals 1 moon for those new. So on the left, we can see that there is this the counting of the 13 moons as kin, and then at the center we have 52 moons, which is the 4 cycles of 13, the 4 wave spells containing in that blue central castle of the central section of the Solkin matrix. So that means that since we are entering now that blue castle and that we are navigating now this entire 52-day cycle that we are navigating will be a fractal of the 52 moons that we will navigate for the next 4 years. So everything that happens in this cycle, it's called the blue castle of burning, because it's at the center and it has these galactic activation portals contained with it, and the passage through the mystic column. So it's a window of intense transformation. The blue is the color of transformation, and we are being transformed in many ways. Some of them we are making them conscious. Some of them certainly are running in the background because it's a lot to integrate at times. But these green icons that we see around these moons is that means that those 10 moons from the lunar moon to the spectral moon of next year would be galactic activation portals themselves. So it's certainly going to be a really key year, and the fact that the golden intersection is happening right there on a resonant year that start at the heart of the Solkin matrix, it's something that adds value, and that is one more synchronicity to consider when we speak about the golden intersection of timelines.
Incredible. Yeah, this whole sequence of days is intense. And as you said, I mean, it is a preview of the year to come.
Yeah, the years to come.
Well, and the years. Yeah.
Yes.
Even more so. So
yeah, that's the beauty of the fractal
and
count.
the years. My goodness.
That's the beauty of the fractal count, is that and doesn't mean that every time it's going to happen on the 13th moon of the year. So this is certainly a special occasion that we are entering the 7th column at the end of the 13th moon.
Yeah.
We know that there is this sacred relationship between the 7 and the 13, the 7 always at the heart of the 13.
Yeah.
So this means that within the fractal time perspective, this is a very special year, and it is a moment to really let go and flow with the energies, because this is going to be nonstop for the next 4 years, basically. With this,
oh my goodness,
this transformation.
Wow. So yeah, I mean, like you're saying, by the example of this moon with this entrance into the mystic column, if you will, the 7th, the channel of attunement, it is a reflection of what we're all being invited into, you know.
Yes. Yes.
And that's part of the invitation, is also to surrender.
Yes.
Particularly those parts that are resistant, perhaps.
And this map is included in the new almanac, of course, for people to navigate. What we see also on the right is the Solkin matrix comprised of 260 moons, and 260 moons, of course, is 20 years. So we measure 20 years. We measure cycles of 4 years, which is the castles. So we have 5 of those, like in the Solkins, 5 cycles, 52. And on the left side, we measure the fractality of each moon of those years. So thank goodness we have these tools so that we can navigate. These are like the gene keys, like human design, and like many other practices. They are just tools for us to be able to navigate with grace the times that we are living, times of transformation.
Indeed. Well, in light of that, let's get into the conversation tonight, because we thought it would be fitting to tune back in with the gene keys and to see some of the parallels between these systems and how they are guiding us, how they are presenting to us opportunities to grow, heal, evolve, all of this. So, yeah, in light of that, we're going to go ahead and tap in with the Time is Art.
Yes.
Time is Heart. All right, we had a little automatic switching going on there. But we wanted to tap in with tonight's episode around the theme of impeccable frequencies. And when we hear, and that's largely because when we tuned into where the Gene Key Pulse Calendar is currently, we're in day 2 of Gene Key 62. So the sun making its passage through and activating Gene Key 62 among the 64 Gene Keys. And it felt very relevant and resonant, all things considered, because of where we are in the completion of this Blue Storm Year, and really how we're completing it as we come to the fullness of it. Very important to reflect on. And as I said at the top of the episode, I've had a lot to reflect on myself, just in my own direct experience, as I'm sure everybody tapping in right now can also reflect in their own ways the various challenges and opportunities and successes and joys and the variety of range that we've all been navigating individually, collectively right now. The highest of highs and the lowest of lows, it seems. The full range is before us. And in that full range being before us, one thing that has continued to come up for me also, just in my conversations with Ishel and just in my own sort of reflections, is this idea of choice. That we are blessed with the ability to choose.
Yes.
And that is one of the things that, and the other side of that is we're also required to live with our choices, whatever that may be. So we have the gift of choice, and we must live with our choices either way. So that's kind of like an interesting thing right there, because choice doesn't shut off and we don't get to choose which choices we live with. It's an all or nothing. Well, it's just all or all, really, either way. And that's what I feel is shaping us as well, informing us, is the feedback that we're getting from our choices. And the fact that as we are making this journey, this recursive journey back to the heart, when I, for example, am making a choice that's not in the integrity of my highest self or my greater good, I'm feeling a reflection from the creation itself, from the universe, from the various levels of reality, more immediately than perhaps I may have experienced in the past 20 or 30 years.
Yes.
Because we're at a tightening of the spiral. Everything is really, 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 really getting tighter and tighter and closer as we near and enter the center.
Yes.
And so we're really being made to reflect on choice. And that may look like a phone call you've been putting off, a conversation you've been avoiding, whatever that may look like. It's going to come back and be reflected to us for the need for course correction. Because it's not just the universe that's going to correct it, it's us we're being invited to make these corrections, these adjustments, these calibrations as we're experiencing. And so ultimately what's happening is we're being made to embody. What's interesting about the Gene Key 62 is that the shadow of this Gene Key, when we look at this, it is the shadow of intellect. And that's not to be in any way confused with intelligence. And I know in the narrative description of the Gene Keys is described as the intellect as being of the mind, whereas intelligence, for example, is of the heart, that there's a difference. And so I know that the way of this world, this material of the mana or the mind of man, as it were, is constantly getting sucked into and engaged by this lila, this play, this illusion, essentially. And then we find ourselves navigating that illusion through the shadow band with the intellect, attempting to make sense of the nonsensical, There's another way it's been said where, and I think this may be a quote of Sri Yukteswar, the guru of Paramahansa Yogananda, where he says that the things of the spirit will confound the mind, or the ways of the spirit will confound the mind. It won't make sense to the mind. Because the mind likes to fix itself. We get fixated and obsessed in the mind based on an intellectual observation maybe we've made, based on knowledge. And another thing they say in Gene Key 62 that resonates is the difference between knowledge and knowing. Similar to the difference between intellect and intelligence, or the difference between the head and the heart, or the mind and the heart, as it were. So, it's interesting. These things are coming up now at this turn of the spiral because they need to be observed, obviously. And as we make that shift from the shadow band, from the shadow frequency of the intellect, by way of the gift of precision, now that's really quite something, because it brings us to, just something more clear. Precision in the heart. And even as I'm saying that, it's like I realize I spend so much time in the mind that, maybe I've come up with ways to describe an observation of the heart, though to be embodied in the heart as that precision, that's an entirely different experience. And I know that's a gift we could give ourselves, is to take, as I'm even seeing a Minta comment in the chat about just getting happier and happier, slowing down completely. And if I want to enter that heart space, then I'm going to have to figure out how to ground all the activity of the intellect, that shadow, so to speak, but it's true. It's true. It's very real. So, and we appreciate the wisdom that's pouring through the live chat as well for folks who are resonating with this. It is a shared experience. I know I'm speaking of my own direct experience of it, but certainly I'm a reflector in the gene keys as well, or rather the human design system. So I know I often have this tendency of tapping in to the collective, the reflective of the collective kind of thing too. So I also need to be more careful and gentle with myself. Obviously own accountability for what's mine, but also recognize that, I'm constantly being attuned, in a sense, to the collective as well. But in that sense, I mean, go ahead. I want to invite you to share some of your perspective as we get into this conversation about impeccability and where this leads us.
Yes. And this is certainly an interesting conversation, because on one side, let's remember that the end of the 13th moon year is the polar opposite of the start of the biogenetic year. So for those who missed that episode, because we did that during the resonant moon on January 22nd to 26, we start the biogenetic new year, which is this sequence of gene keys that start to get activated. So basically, according to the human design and gene keys pulse calendar, basically the sun goes through each of the 64 codons of the DNA and activates each one of them as a part of our original programming that is embedded in our DNA and that needs to be awakened right now. And what the three layers that we see here is the shadow band, the gift band, and the Siddhi. And basically it's the lower, which is the red here, the shadow, it implies like the light is the light switch is off. The upper side, basically the light which is on. We are experiencing that divine spark or divine gift fully activated, and the green one, which is at the center, is the bridge from going from operating from the shadow to operating from our cities or our divine powers. So based on that, and the fact that we are reaching precisely the opposite side of this activation sequence, and today is a yellow galactic human, galactic being the tone of integrity, the galactic human that we are becoming. We are coming out of this shell of being just connected just to the Earth and the solar system, but not having this galactic perception, because the word galactic is kind of too much for many people who are not familiar with, or who don't feel that we are part of a larger whole, which is this galaxy. So the tone of integrity, also an invitation to integrate all the parts, the shadow, the light, and everything in between, and be whole humans, that we are able to really integrate, because that's what the integrity means, integrate all these aspects of the self and become anchors for these energies to manifest on the earth. We are vessels receiving these programs from Galactic Center that are really programming life for the extraordinary. And we kind of tend to operate in the lower band, in the shadow, and humanity is going through that process of awakening, in which, according to these disciplines, we are going to experience around the coming years an activation of the solar plexus, which is where all our emotional centers are located. And we are going through an alchemical process of becoming something new, a new species, a new human being. And the 64 jinkies are basically the framework to activate that divine human being that is inside our DNA, but is dormant. So it's like, I always love to imagine the little spirals within our DNA as the structures inside of a light bulb, these little threads that come to light and illuminate the room. And we are in that process of turning on those switches and transmuting those shadows into light. And of course, part of that process is become impeccable in word, in action. So this Jinki is really an invitation to examine and be very neutral with how we are bringing into manifestation whatever we are speaking. At the beginning, even in the Bible says that at the beginning was the word, and basically word is creation. Everything that we say is vibration, and that vibration just becomes solid in the material world. So every time that we gossip, and every time that we complain, and every time that we say negative things about ourselves or others, we are really creating more of that without knowing it. It's just that we operate in a kind of autopilot. That's how we were, basically our parents used to operate that way, and their parents and their grandparents, and that's why this is genetic. We are kind of transmuting a genetic error, including our way of perceiving time, that is basically has created the current society that is trapped in the millisecond, like we were seeing on the first part of the episode. So this is really an invitation to, and what I love about in the contemplation of this gene key is the theme of presence. That in order to, the intellect kind of, according to Richard Rudd, the intellect keeps us trapped in duality, and that the next stage is going into the Trinity, the balance of the two aspects. That he was saying that the people, the ancestors who build the pyramids and these structures to track time and to leave a signature here for future generations, something that they could be remembered for. They were not operating by the clock. They were operating under a very different consciousness and perception. But see, from the moment that we started to create these structures of dark and light, of good and bad, and we fell into duality, and that's what he was referring as the trap of the intellect, that we tend to classify everything into those categories and operate according to what we like and what we dislike, without finding that balance or that integration of the two. That's where we are going, really, to having that consciousness that is not either the female cycle and the male cycle, and the matriarchy and the patriarchy, but the merging of the two into a balanced way, a new way that we have not experienced before. The same way that we cannot experience what the ancestor experienced, and that timelessness that they experience. Now we are in the process of overcoming this duality, and of course impeccability is one of the keys to operate from that unity of presence and the energy of love. And I love the fact also that it refers here to cosmometry, which is the language section. And
Absolutely. And I think the precision piece is clear with relationship to the ancestors who had a different point of reference and different influences to be able to encode in such clear ways and precise ways the things that we're talking about today. Because were it not for what they did with such precision, almost as though gifting that to us now, that we could have that to remember, to make sense through, given the nature of the Maya, of the illusion, as a way to break through and shift from that. I mean, it's important to recognize that. And I think to that end, as we have endeavored to do with our work, by introducing cosmometry in terms of how to introduce a framework for a new operating system, a new operational system, in fact, is what we refer to it as, a new OS for humanity. As we were attempting to make sense of the synchronometer that we've been presenting since 2016 and coming up with different ways to present this to people as a solution of impeccability, not because we did anything. All it was really is us identifying its natural structure, how it is. And so just making that conscious, we were led to introduce the 12 around 1 approach as envisioning a new operational system. And that this was given as an interpretation of how to envision these 13 moons, the 12 plus 1 moons of a 13 moon year, as the new operational system for humanity, inviting us to really appreciate that, first of all, this vector equilibrium that we see here, this symbol, is an example of cosmometry, or design based in nature, basically. And so this vector equilibrium gives us a perfect example of the most stable form, in fact, in nature, that everything is equidistant from the center. Absolutely all the 12 points are equidistant from the center. And then through our work, we were guided to unpack it in different ways. Cosmometry, a whole system universal approach, where we stated mathematics is the language of nature. At a fundamental level, everything in the creation is governed by the same fractal geometrical structures. Cosmometry is, quote, the study of those fundamental patterns, structures, processes, and principles that are at the foundation of reality, and the application of this knowledge in the design of human, social, and technological systems. So even in cosmometry's definition there, we see that it doesn't become something unless it's applied. So the knowledge itself is impotent. It's empty. It's not activated unless and until it's applied. And so this is, I think, again, where the idea of cosmometry comes into view. And again, we could see another interpretation of that vector equilibrium here. And then this leads to another interpretation. And this is a great interpretation. We've found a few. And this is the United Earth Wheel of Synergy for a planetary and collaborative whole systems transformation. So many humans and many collectives have thought about these things, though in relationship to the calendar, we were introducing it because also we have the lunar solar terrestrial operational system. Here's your 13 moons, corollary with that process around the sun, which is at our solar plexus, as we can see in the design here, but just giving the relationship here as well for people to really think about how these cycles are really inherently impeccable. They really are beautiful. And when we can find ourselves centric with them, embodied of them, obviously, it takes on a life of itself. And we invite people, actually, I'll put the link in the chat here so people can check this out. This is a website that we have that's a sister website to the harmonicfactor.com. This is called 13months28days.info. And it's at this website that you'll find what I'm showing you here on screen as the new operational system. And as you can see here in the human form, the impeccability, the precision of the creation, the design of our human bodies, with the 13 articulating joints and the 28 phalanges in both hands, as well as your 20 fingers and toes, of course, when you look at that galactic marker. And so we get into great detail about this on the website. And this one in particular is our own interpretation, specifically as it relates to this 12 around 1 whole system model. Again, on the basis of cosmometry, the vector equilibrium, all of these points of social concern being equidistant from the center. And the center in this case is time and the calendar system that we use, that we're governed by, because we seldom question the Gregorian calendar. We seldom separate ourselves to say, hey, how is this causing function or dysfunction? You know, and this is the question we set out to ask 9 years ago when we first presented at the UN on Noosphere Day, no less. So we know in a few short days we'll be coming up on the anniversary of our presentation at the Nexus Global Summit in the year 2016, where we did posit this inquiry about the relationship of calendars and consciousness.
Yeah, and I love that the word synchronicity starts with the same as synergy, syntropy, because it really, through the synchronization of all these aspects of human relationship, through the correct measurement and the precise measurement of time, that we can find that balance that we lost at some point, especially since the start of the Industrial Revolution and the ongoing development of better and larger and clever machines. So we are right now feeling this acceleration of the Earth. It may be an acceleration in consciousness that is generated by this exacerbation of technology. So that's why we have been speaking about taking a pause, doing our hygiene of taking some breaks from technology, just to allow the body to go back to the original balance that we lost due to our wrong perceptions, like distorted perceptions of time, and this, especially the time is money paradigm. So in preparation for this coming day out of time, this is certainly a week to start slowing down, because the idea is that we stop on the out of time everything that we are doing. We let go of all the projects, and we just allow our systems to reboot, doing something that we love, doing something in nature, doing something that we lost track of time, really, because that's where we and Richard Rudd also speaks about this, that the measurement of number is part of this obsession of the intellect, and that we are sometimes caught up in that paradigm of efficiency, or doing these things faster, and in that we lose our presence, and that the presence is in the doing it with full attention to what we are doing, and giving our full awareness and consciousness to everything that we create, what we create with our word, what we create with our actions, how we relate to each other, and the type of relationships we create with our behavior. So this is certainly a time for reflection, and now that we are also entering that mirror wasteful, and that center of the Solkin matrix, to see ourselves in the mirror and see where we need to slow down a little bit, and when need to go back to balance, because that's the energy of this year, was the rhythmic tone of balance. So we need to do our best to, despite the acceleration, despite how things in the world may look like, go back to that center, to that balance, and know that there is something larger happening, there's a larger order, and that if we focus our consciousness, our attention on the miracles that are happening at every moment, and all the synchronicities that need to happen for us to even to digest the food that we had today, or to move with grace, and to dance, or to write, and all the things that happen in our body, coordinated and synchronized. That's the same intelligence that is governing the entire universe, and we lose our perception of that by being so immersed in ourselves and our ego. So this is a beautiful time to really slow down, be gentle, be gentle with ourselves, with others, and do the things we love with the presence, with giving our full presence, even if at times we don't like it. because sometimes we are a human and we want to get things done, and sometimes things take a lot of time, and sometimes we need a lot of patience and a lot of compassion with ourselves. Okay, maybe it's not today, maybe it's tomorrow, and it's not about doing stuff, but being. We are not human doings, we are human beings, and we forget that a little bit at times.
Well, beautifully said, brother. And yeah, certainly I want to encourage people tapping in the live chat as well, just to drop a phrase in there that you want to amplify in yourself, that you want to speak into your own heart. Just whatever it is, we want to get impeccable with our word, right? We want to reflect on the 4 agreements, for example, of Don Miguel Ruiz. And we know that that's a wonderful teaching of Toltec wisdom related to a simple application, simple yet so profound, right? The 4 agreements. And the first being, I'm impeccable with my word. Ooh. Now, that's aspirational as well as it's affirmational. I want to practice my own impeccability with my word, because I realize I can miss the mark as well. So being impeccable with our word, it's about that commitment and the recommitment every time, every day, every kin. And And as we ponder this, I'm impeccable with my words. It's beautiful. And I think the second one, I don't want to get these out of order, but the second one is, I don't make assumptions. I always ask questions. I think that's a very good one too. I don't make assumptions. I always ask questions. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Yes, we give thanks, Rusty. Thank you for tuning in. In Lakesh, to you as well. Thanks for tuning in. I keep the live chat up so I can obviously tap into what people are doing or saying or how they're feeling, expressing. As we go on this journey of these 4 agreements, I want to recall the third one. And do you feel free to jump in if you recall it?
I don't remember the exact order, but I know that don't take anything personal.
I take nothing personally. Oh, golly. Oh, geez. I mean, what can we say? I don't take anything personally. The third agreement. Yeah. I take nothing personally. Oof. Wow. Hoo-wee is right. And the fourth one is, I always do my best.
I always do my best.
And with the caveat that my best may range from one moment to another. It's a sliding range of the best, of my best, as far as that's concerned. So there we have it. 1, be impeccable with your word. Thank you, Ishel Esta. Always there to remind me. Yep. TPH, tapping in. I always do my best. Okay, there we go. Number 2, I don't take anything personally. Okay, number 2 is take nothing personally.
Okay.
Right. I don't take anything personally. Number 2. Number 3, I don't make assumptions. I always ask questions. I think that might be Ishel's favorite one. As she is a yellow warrior. And 4, always do your best. Always do your best. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So we don't have any regrets. It's an amazing positive wisdom for sure. And it's a timeless one. It's as relevant today as it was when it was first released in 1997, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was
Mhm.
first published in 97. So as we navigate that, it's so beautiful, so simple, but so profound. And thank you,
Mhm.
Michelle, in fact, for definitely articulating those in the live chat for everybody's reference. The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. If you've never read it or you have it in your collection, I'm going to see. I don't know that I have it anymore, but it's definitely one to review. It's a
Mhm.
good review. It's something I
Yeah.
actually bought for friends and relatives of mine back in the 90s because it was such a profound, positive wisdom at that time. And here we are nearly how many years later?
Hmm.
I mean, how many years are we? This is crazy. We're almost 30 years later to the release of that book.
Wow.
I had the blessing of meeting him actually in Chichen Itza. He came to the
Mhm.
ceremonies we did there on December 21st, 2012.
Mhm.
So he was one of the guest elders and speakers, presenters, along with Hunbat's men, too.
Mhm.
But yes, well, we give great thanks just for this reflection and time to just sit with the energy of this gene key as we're transiting this gene key 62, getting a chance to reflect on impeccability and what it really means, and then also how it does relate to the solution found in the natural time calendar.
Mhm.
As it does have application, this knowledge has an application to help us make the shift in as whole a way as possible. As you said, this is the window of time where the two must become one. So
Mhm.
those shadow aspects are calling our attention because they want to be integrated. They want to be loved. They want to be
Mhm.
elevated. You know,
Yeah.
they're making the ride and they want to complete the journey.
Yeah.
You know,
And we are seeing a reflection of that in the collective, that
yeah.
all the darkest stuff is coming out,
Mm.
and it's difficult to watch at times, to witness, but of course we cannot isolate ourselves because it is within and without. It's happening at a collective level. So that's why it's so important to be compassionate with everyone and everything.
Mm.
Um, and
Mm.
and I would add to that fourth agreement of I always do my best from my level of consciousness, because there these some of these people are doing their best from what they know, and they don't know better. And we
Mm.
were speaking today with our friends in Palenque, and they were going through difficult times there, and we were reflecting on the fact that those beings who kind of fell from consciousness and don't seem to be a reflection of the spirit in terms of what is happening in the jungle in Palenque, of that spirit. They just forgot, and they don't know better, basically, and they're operating from trauma,
Mm.
and of course a lot of this a lot of pressure for the world. We were operating from years and years and years of trauma, like we um, discussed on our latest episode with Shotil, that there is so much trauma that we are healing right now, but it's also a great opportunity to heal in a different way, to heal faster, because we kind of catch ourselves when we are not doing our best, and then when we operate from that level of consciousness, that we can see ourselves that this is not making, it's not good for me, not good for the other, then we can reframe it and do our best again. It may not be the highest, the expression of the Siddhi, but we are moving up in the spiral.
Also, to check here in the live chat, we have a bonus fifth agreement from the sequel, The Fifth Agreement by Don Miguel Ruiz. And that fifth agreement is be skeptical, but learn to listen. And I like what Iminta says here, not skeptical. I can appreciate that. I'd rather use the word discernment. And that's cool. And then Michelle commented, don't believe everything you hear, including your own inner voice. Listen with awareness and discernment.
Especially
fifth agreement. Be skeptical, but learn to listen. Yeah. I think, and I like the word discernment certainly as well, as we navigate these minefields of unattended trauma. Because that's really how it feels out here. Is this all this unattended trauma, and everybody's reacting from their trauma, creating more trauma, right? So, wow. What a beautiful, beautiful reflection tonight, though. This really makes me think of my dear brother, Baba Rasdi, who I'd love to invite to a future episode, the author of a book called Stay in Your Light, which I encourage people to look up in any case, Stay in Your Light by Baba Rasdi. I know he has a lot of reflections and solutions of perception to help us navigate the, just the perils of thought life, and thought life can contribute to healing and more trauma all the same. So really getting our thought life aligned with our purpose, for example, and with our heart. Again, that recognition. And they describe it in the Gene Keys, though, as climbing to the heart from the mind. We often think of the mind and the heart in the orientation of like my mind, my brain up here at the top, and then my heart in the middle. Whereas in the Gene Key description of Gene Key 62, they relate it as though you're elevating to the heart, climbing up in the sense of ascending to the heart. So it's just various ways we can obviously perceive these things, though the resonance and the medicine is powerful regardless. So
the intelligence of the heart.
Heart intelligence, absolutely. Wow, what a special journey, and we want to lay this out for folks just in advance of stepping into the new 13 moon year. We're very excited for our next episode, next heptad, as we're going to be bridging the worlds and actually engaging in conversation with two wonderful kin from China, from Hong Kong. So that is going to be incredible, as we're looking forward to that as well, just in terms of wrapping up this blue storm year in a beautiful, profound way, a way of honor and celebration, as we're also moving towards the celebration of global peace through culture and the day out of time. So let's go ahead and tap into what's next as we wrap up this Time as Art section. I want to thank everybody for their commentaries in the live chat. And we'll keep the chats live in the replay as well for people tuning in the future who will really benefit from all the beautiful things shared there. Really, really something to witness. But thank you all for staying tuned and all of that. And as indicated, we are nearing two important markers. One was mentioned earlier today as well, that being Noosphere Day, July 22nd, And explain to people a little bit more, recap a little bit about what makes it Noosphere Day specifically.
Yeah, well, first of all, is day 26 of this cosmic moon, and of course, 26 is a multiple of 13. It's 2 times 13, and this date is also esoteric in many ways because, as we see on below the Earth, is the 22 divided by 7, which is the month of July, equals pi. And of course, pi is this mathematical constant that represents the circle, and that everything goes back to the one, the circle. So this is a day to celebrate that oneness and that unity of all the thoughts and memories and actions of our planet that take place on our planet, because we tend to feel or experience as if we are separate from the Earth. And the mantra for this day is, I am one with the Earth and myself are one mind, because we are basically the thinking cells of this being called Mother Earth. So this is a day to really tune in to that oneness and that mental layer of the Earth, which is again the mind that doesn't come from the intellect, but the mind that operates with the intelligence. Again, the intellect and intelligence, the heart intelligence.
Yes.
And that's why our next episode we are bridging the two hemispheres, because the Earth has, like the rainbow, circumpolar rainbow bridge has two arcs. They are part of the two hemispheres of the global brain, or what Jose Argüelles Palumbotan described as the planetary Manitou, which is that structure, etheric structure around the Earth that allows us to experience this world of duality and polarity, but from that whole view of the 360 view, that everything is connected, the Holomind Perceiver, from the Holomind Perceiver lens, which is actually the new sense organ that we are developing as a new human species. And the second day to connect with in the coming days, July 25th, which is day out of time, the eve of a new galactic year. Two important astronomical aspects or events take place on that day. Is the emergence or the rising of the star Sirius before dawn. Like basically, if we see anyone who has a Stellarium software and can play a time lapse, we may play that video on the next episode. We will see how at 19.5 degrees latitude north, which is the latitude of Teotihuacan, which is where this picture is taken on the right, on July 24th, the sun is rising before the star Sirius. Then on July 25th, both are rising at the same time. And then on July 26th, Sirius rises a little bit earlier than the sun. And that's the beginning of the new years, when the brightest star is emerging in the horizon before the sun. And the other aspect of that is that we have the zenith or the zenithal passage of the sun at that latitude also on July 24, 25, 26. It's like a window, but it's really on July 25th when we see what happens on the right side of the screen, where we see this is taking at the caves below Teotihuacan, where what we see that beam of light is really the light of the sun entering in 90 degrees angle to the earth at noon. So we are basically receiving the cosmic energies directly over our crown chakra, and this is only happening at that latitude 19.5 degrees. But because this is a sacred geometrical latitude, it's where the tetrahedra is inscribed inside the sphere. That would be, it's where the sunspots appear around the sun. It's where the big storm in Saturn takes place. There are energies called torsion fields that kind of converge at that latitude, and that's probably what the ancient people knew and felt, because they were more connected to the earth than us, and built those pyramids around that latitude. So we have temples like Etna, Teotihuacan, even Chichen Itza, that are in between the 19.5 and 20.5 degrees latitude north, to create like a network of pyramids that is activated as the sun passes through that zenith position at noon. So that's something for this food for the intellect, but the important thing is to really have the presence that day to connect. Wherever you are, doesn't matter if you don't are at 19.5 degrees latitude. Just knowing this will connect you with the energy and with the pyramids. And of course, as we can see on the next slide, this coming day out of time is an opportunity to receive that energy and receive that sacred pause with more people around the earth, to celebrate time is art, peace through culture, and connect with your loved ones. And there is a new website created by the people from Brazil called the Festival Out of Time, and this is a live screen of the website. So it's 13 days of global experiences, ceremonies, and meditations to celebrate the day of time, begin a new cycle of union and a planetary consciousness. It starts on magnetic mirror. It's all the mirror waste bill. So you can go to the website. It's in Portuguese, so please use your translation mode on your browser, so that you can read the full scope of what is shared here, because it has a beautiful intention to really connect with everyone around the world that is living natural time and is connecting with these cycles of time, sacred time, and also be part of the network of events that will take place around the earth, and that probably the Foundation for the Law of Time will have a little report on everything that was shared and lived that day. Yeah, that's the invitation to register. We certainly are going to register the activities that we are going to do here in Mexico. We are planning to go either to Chichen Itza or Cobao or one of the archaeological sites here and have our own little celebration. But this is it doesn't matter how many people are gathered. The important aspect here is the spirit, the intention, and the presence in that day, knowing that everything that we do is a creative act. So time is art. Time is art. Everything that we invest our time and energy is art, and this is a perfect day to celebrate that.
Absolutely. Definitely check the website out. I'll be sure to put a link in the group chat for folks that want to follow up with that. Festival de Tiempo, is that what it is?
Festival do Tempo.
Oh, festival. Okay, yeah. Festival Hora. Festival Fora do
Fora
Tempo.
do Tempo.
Okay.
Festival Fora do Tempo.
All right, we'll put that link right there. Big shout out to our Brazilian contingent of time keepers, time trackers, and the natural time frequency. Absolutely. And it's a beautiful website. So job well done by them. Beautiful, beautiful. Yes. And as you can see on the screen, we're currently 92, 91 days to the golden intersection of timelines. We're in this powerful window where, as we said, things are going to begin to heal and reveal and heal even more in a profound way, for sure.
Yes, 92 days is 13 weeks of 7 days plus 1 day of time. So here we are.
Here we are. Loving that and putting this forward as well. I know I need to look for the graphic you mentioned as well with the QR code. So let me do that, but maybe you can mention what we have on screen with the event coming up.
Yes, well, this is an open invitation for anyone who has been tuning in or who want to be part of the experience of receiving this important synchronization moment or experiencing this synchronization moment at the place of origin of all these codes, which is Palenque. We will be celebrating also time is art, and we will be for 7 days gathering, guided by the guardians of the territory, Abuelo Nico, Abuelo Mario, and other elders that we are inviting to be part of this experience. We are also looking forward to create, have a space for the local communities to bring their art and their crafts. So anyone who is interested, we have the programming, the full program is coming out for the 7 days this week. We have it's almost finished. We were going to showcase today, but certainly we want to polish some details, and we will be sharing it on our last episode of this rhythmic storm year in 7 days. But for the moment, if you want to receive the program and if you want to know a little bit more of what we are going to do, the flow of the activities that we will be doing, please scan the QR code here on the screen, and we will be sharing in that group all the information. We can solve all the questions regarding transportation and recommendations. We, again, are not doing this as a way to profit from it. We are really wanting to share quality time and sacred time with more people, bring the best of us in gratitude for the land and for the people who open their family environment and the beauty of the land for us to come and receive us as family too. So this is the QR code. You can take a picture or screenshot right now your mobile phone or take a picture right now to the screen with your mobile phone. And we love to see you in the chat group. The four of us will be there, and we look forward to share the full program within the next coming days.
And as you can see, go ahead.
Yeah. No, these are the options for accommodation that we are recommending with the Hotel Villa Mercedes, because a lot of the activities are going to be there. So we have different options for different needs and different people. If you come with a loved one or with your couple, your family member, certainly we recommend to have a shared room. If you want to have your own space, there is a single room. And if you want to meet new people, of course, that's also an option to share the room. There are options of 1 meal, 2 meals, or 3 meals, depending on your budget and your personal needs. But the important thing is that you will be close to the all the activities, because as we mentioned before, the people from Villa Mercedes really gave us the opportunity to bring the lectures and the ceremonies that we will perform inside the hotel, and have also a safe environment for everything, and a point of a meeting point for all the activities that are not going to be at the hotel. We'll be going and visit the sacred waters, the archaeological site, and we may do also a walk through the jungle maybe. So everything will be presented in the program, and probably that program will have some changes as we move closer to the date. But for the moment, I think it's a great outline of everything that we will be celebrating and doing.
And I just put a link in the chat as well to the Golden Intersection of Timelines Facebook event page for anybody wanting to tap in there as another way to track the activities around the world together. It's another great place to tap in. And obviously, we invite people to share what they're doing prior to and following the Golden Intersection of Timelines events. Obviously, during the days of the 14th and the 15th, we're really encouraging people, similar to the day at a time, get off your devices, get into nature, get into the heart, be present with what's happening, and then record your experiences later or share your intentions prior to. But, we look forward to reveling with all of you as to what you're going to be doing and what you're going to be grounding and anchoring as this time approaches. So be sure to follow that Facebook event just for highlights and updates, and deposit your own positive messages there. It's another space where we can share with each other. And I know we already mentioned, and just one more, I had my scenes out of order here, but I figured it's worth dropping this in here for those that do want to check out the website for the relatives from Brazil, who have a wonderful website that's actually helping identify Day Out of Time events all over the world. That's a great place to drop in to learn about what's happening all around the planet on this Day Out of Time. And, Day Out of Times have been observed now. What are we in our... Since 1992, I think, was the first observance. Yep. So this is our 33rd Day at a Time. Wow. Around the world, 33 years in a row. This is no small thing. What a beautiful milestone for the global movement of natural time. What an amazing milestone. 33 years. Profound.
13 plus 20.
13 and 20, right there in the code. And in celebration of that, one more graphic just to inspire you to celebrate global peace through culture. We'll be here in Los Angeles, anchoring it with our relatives Tata Jose and his wife Julia and their beautiful family at a local venue in East Los Angeles. So we'll be here in the heart of this land, this territory, sending out our energies for a beautiful Global Peace Through Culture Day on Kin 123, and looking forward to connecting in consciousness, in heart, and energy with relatives all around the world.
Yes, and this day our time has a special prophetic overtone because we will be completing 102 galactic spins from that moment when archaeologist Alberto Ruz opened the lid of the tomb of Pakal and found the origin of this prophecy of the telectron that we are all being part right now, and of course when these events connect in time, well, there is a special energy in the field, because as we may recap from prior episodes, it was that archaeological discovery that triggered this entire prophetic stream and that uncovered the magnificence of the inheritance of the Mayan legacy, especially at places like Palenque and the Temple of Inscriptions. So this is besides the opportunity to connect with loved ones and experience time as art, is also a day to connect with that prophecy, with the prophecy of the electron, to share a little bit more about it and to know a little bit more about who was Pakal Botan and why he is an important figure today with everything that is happening on the planet, to study and to really learn from.
Absolutely. Much to learn from, for sure. And for those that want to learn more, I recommend you Google search Telectanon Prophecy as an example, as a way to learn more. We've mentioned this in previous episodes, of course, and we'll be sure to mention it in future episodes as well, because that is one of the most significant things about anchoring the observation of the Git in Palenque, is just to connect with that specific energy in that particular location. It's very distinct, and yet it's going to connect around the world. And so we look forward to those of you that are able to meet us there, and also for those of you who will be connecting with us in the web of connection from wherever you are. And we look forward to doing that together. Oh, and I see we have a link, it looks like, going up in here. I'm not sure which one. Oh, Time Ship Earth. Okay, there's a link in there from the Law of Time website, which is a repository for all of the initial and original materials concerning this cosmovision. So we encourage people to visit thelawoftime.org as well, where you can also order the current year or the upcoming Star Traveler's Almanac from there as well. Again, one of the many fantastic tools out there for people to access. And we want to encourage people, of course, to share and sign, if you haven't already, but certainly sign the ongoing open petition for Calendar Referendum Initiative 2028. And in the episodes ahead, we'll be sharing more information, particularly after we get past the golden intersection of timelines, because there's going to be a lot of momentum picking up for this effort to make it real in the most real ways. Things we really can't go into great detail about here, not yet, but certainly in the moons ahead and in this resonant seed year, we know some powerful things are being seeded, targeted in that awareness for the planetary awareness. And so we're excited to continue to navigate with this effort, which will meet 9 exact years on October 14th, 2025. It will be 9 exact years since we launched this petition. And I know it may seem like a tall order at this point to jump from 14,000 signatories to 144,000. But you know what? I believe we can do it. I really do.
Mhm.
Because we haven't actually put out any real broadcast about the Git, like through mainstream media channels or any of that. We're keeping it very organic. Although I have a feeling once we do start to get the efforts in motion to put this on the radars of various news publications and the like, that we will see those numbers rise in the signatures. And it is an important marker. We've gone over 144,000 and why that's significant and in the various ways in previous episodes. But we certainly look forward to increased numbers of signees onto that petition. So thank you
Yes.
so much out there for those tuning into that.
Yes, and for those who already signed, also thank you
Yeah,
so much.
big up. Much respect to all those who are among the 14,400 plus current signees. We give thanks for that. But I tell you what, thank you, Brother Rubén. This has been a beautiful, beautiful episode. I really do appreciate love your time and energy and you staying the course in the way you do and always showing up with your own impeccability. It's an honor to know you and to journey in this work together. And a special shout out to Ishel and Alejandra as well for their steadfast commitment to this big idea, to this big picture, to this important work. We would not be able to do any of this that we're doing without your support. So we give great thanks to both of you specifically in this work, and certainly to the community of friends and family, those who show up every heptad for this broadcast. We really love you. We give great thanks for your presence on the planet. And we encourage you to continue to practice the 4 agreements. I'm going to take my own advice and work on that myself. But certainly continue to show up and, continue to just shine your light. That's what we're here for. And to be a loving presence to somebody else, as well. So with that, I want to share this amazing video that Alejandra has developed that features this new synchronometer that we're so proud of and so excited to share with folks. And we encourage you to scan the QR at the end of the video or go directly to the website. I'll put another access link to the website where we do have the new synchronometer available for folks, just encouraging people to go ahead and or be down and we also encourage people, it's great for your digital device. It's a great go-to tool for your tablet or for your laptop or your cell phone. You can obviously zoom into it. It's beautifully high res, beautiful, beautiful imagery and everything. So we just want to celebrate that. And I was looking for the link and I'm not able to find it, but I do encourage people to go to theharmonicfactor.com. You can find a button right there at the very top of that landing page for access to the new synchronometer for New Sirius 1.38, the yellow resonant seed year, coded no less by 105, Kin 105. It's going to be a powerful year as we've looked at the fractal relationship of these gap days to the year and the years ahead. Oh my goodness. It's mind-blowing. Oh, thank you so much. I see Ishel just put a link to both the petition as well as to the synchronometer right there in the chat. So we want to thank you and thank everybody who is tapping in and staying tuned. It makes a great gift as well if you want to send the link or order a copy or get somebody a version of it that they can have for themselves. To be honest with you, if you share one you've already ordered with them, it's fine with us, honestly. The most important thing is that this consciousness gets out there and gets into the heart of humanity. So, we welcome you to go buy it. Certainly, we appreciate your donation in our case, but certainly we encourage you to go to lawoftime.org and get a copy of the 13 Moon Star Travelers Almanac, or go to 13moon.com and get the Galactic Calendar by Skytime with their amazing edition. And this is their 30th edition this year, too, if I'm not mistaken. 30 years they've been doing this. That's amazing commitment. What a track record. and other kin around the world. We know Vasumi down in the southern hemisphere has her own synchronometer. So, we want to raise up and celebrate everybody, who is out here tracking natural time. So we give great thanks. Looks like somebody did print it. Knowledge 81. Thank you so much. And if we had a better solution to present this edition, we would certainly be using that. But at the moment, the PDFs is the way to go. But the most important thing is that people get the information.
Yes.
So we really, really give thanks. Yeah, we got to do what we got to do, what we're here to do, which is to make a change for sure.
Yeah. Thank you, brother, also for your presence and your commitment to this mission. Thank you so much.
Man, thank you. In Lakesh, and wouldn't want to do it with anybody else. We give great thanks. All right, y'all, and enjoy this beautiful video by Alejandra, and we will see you on the next episode. In Lakesh, Alakesh.
the Galactic Spin Podcast and expand your view. With the Galactic Spin Podcast and expand your view.